underlying problem in all of this, everything outside of your home. Everything outside of your home. It's graphene is the problem. The distribution system for everything outside, primarily, it's that stuff, man. It's that stuff. I'm telling you, it's in the e-fuels. Go look it up yourself. Um, so I have the process down. I feel a little spoiled here. Got some pay today, and I got somebody ordered 7 paint cans off me. So gave me a little bit of freedom for the week. I'm going to take off about a month here, I think, of my regular work. If I can keep all this going, I'm praying. Um, but so this is what I've put together so far. Everything's pretty much streamlined now. So there's not much room inside the boxes, guys. If you want to start making these, right? I have this to a public thing right now. The magnets, the alignment, the polarity, all of the stuff that has to do with the magnets. It's in videos already made, but I'll put one together. It's a little bit more specific on all of it right here. What comes in the can, if you order the can, Facebook is not uploading. So I'm doing this video here. Hopefully I can share that over there. But what comes in the can is the quartz crystal. They'll be dead by the time they get to you if I put the quartz inside of the tubing. Okay. So they got to be recharged. You'll get a coupling that goes into the base of the can on the bottom, just like this one is here on the top. So you'll get all of those. You'll get these 2 pipes, right? The one with the sharp end on the bottom, that's only cut that way so that you can get the pipe down into the ground. All right. So this one gets attached to the bottom of the can using that coupling in that bag. You're going to have to push this down a little bit. Otherwise, it won't fit in the box. It's only sticking out of the bottom by about 1/4 of an inch. So you want to use up as much of this to keep everything straight. So you get as much of the pipe inside there as you can, like this here. So, and that's what your top pipe will look like. Again, the angled one is for the bottom. So those will be in there. The magnets will all be aligned. I'm gluing everything together so nobody can call me and say, "Hey, everything's broken." I'm trying to get everything so it's I don't want to do orders on little parts, guys, if you don't mind. I really don't want to do that. It's just doing this alone. It's pretty rough. Like there's a lot of these things to go out. Um, and I want to get everybody into the Paint Can Brigade, one way or the other, like here and the Paint Can Brigade group on Facebook, because everybody that's in there is from like other countries and stuff. And it's just like, it's probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, as far as getting people all charged, aligned, thinking on their own and understanding like the actuality of things so they actually can do something about it. Just seeing, right? The ability to see like all this stuff that we've been run through this past few years. Now they're starting this shit up again. I think our time is really limited here. I think that as the United States goes, I think we're in real big trouble because it's not just the United States. This is worldwide. All of this stuff happening, it's worldwide at this point. And, as far as AI learning everything and all of that, it's from this stuff, it's from this stuff that they're spraying. That's like the self-driving cars. If you have graphene on you, it will recognize you, right? And again, if I cover that whole topic, why is there graphene going into everything? It's specifically for that. Wavelengths read graphene, every kind of wavelength, light, acoustic, so it's light, sound, infrared, probably some form of laser shit they use now, which I haven't looked into that one yet much. But so this video is really only about that. Anybody that's coming in here and getting the paid subscription to learn how to do them, to learn these things as we're talking about them. Like I said, the $8 and I'm once I get these going the way that I'm planning on here, which will be a lot quicker, I'll take $50 off of the orders, I think, even. But I got to catch back up and recoup what I've already put in here. So, the bigger goal for me is to get everybody to understand how important the whole graphene topic is. It's a really big topic, and I think here in this group, we have on the podcast. I I might have a couple of really cool people hooked up here to talk to. One is a health lady. I think she's over in the UK. She's been doing her thing for a real long time, but on the wavelength of polarity and energy and how all this stuff actually affects us in our bodies. We've been trying to have that conversation for a long time, probably a year or two at this point. But again, the camps of conspiracy theorists, uh, the Sabrina Wallace people and the and whatever, all the argumentative stuff. Like I don't want anything to do with any of it. My goal, and I'm hoping everybody else's goal here is just say, yo, like we gotta do something together. Like now, this is a big step forward. The other part is where you're putting your money. But once you know all of the things that this stuff is in, ordering from Amazon, all the things that we do regularly, right? It's put into our markets without us even knowing. And just as vile consumers as we are, like give me it, I look at it, I like that, or whatever, and blah blah blah, right? Like, um, it's my favorite scent, like shit like that. Um, the soda I can't live without, between the food and all this other stuff, this stuff is going in. It's a really big deal. You got to recognize it as the really big deal that it is, and so highlighting it and getting everybody to recognize it. This is a big, big deal. I don't think a lot of people are understanding me on Facebook. I don't know how many do or don't, but if you go and you read about graphene and its properties and what it's capable of doing and all that stuff, it's that one component, that one thing that it does that they're not uh, advertising as loudly as all the rest. It's stronger steel. The crayons will last longer. The whatever, right? The steel is stronger. The concrete will stay together longer. Your clothes, the fabric will last longer. Like, it's literally going into everything, literally in that way, right? They're putting it into the substrates, the textiles, you name it, whatever. So that was the only reason I really wanted to do this video. Facebook is like, I think I was on a half hour when I was trying to upload what I just showed you guys there, and it's still not uploaded on there. So again, when I'm talking about being over here and costing money for the paid thing and all that stuff, that's the reason why. I'm telling you, they know who I am. They know what I'm doing. They know what the paint can brigade is doing. You could post videos in that group and they get sent right down to the bottom. Nobody ever sees them again. I mean, as an admin, I've been watching it since it started. It's just, Facebook is not what you think, man. It is not there for our pleasure. So it is trash. It's real bad. Yeah, it's really, really bad. So happy this is taking off for you. Yeah, I mean it's good. Thanks, Colin. Yeah. Well, it said I'm freed up a little bit now because I got somebody ordered 7 paint cans in one order today, and I'm like, holy shit. So like that gives you like a huge. It's like because financial stuff is difficult, so I'm not trying to be a greedy pig or anything like that. It's not about that. Um, but I want to be able to afford, my meager lifestyle, the car payments and the insurances and all the shit my son's insurance for his truck is $2,000 for 6 months. How do you get a young generation to not want to drive cars, right? To want to keep their rentable lifestyle, like the smart city plan, make everything completely unaffordable. He hit me up twice already this week for gas money. Not that I blame him, and he's not helping me as much as he used to or should be, but he's in school, so, uh, but that is what it is. It's just like, holy shit, man, the cost of things going up the way that they are and whatever else. I mean, all of that's a factor, but I think that this is kind of worth it. I think that we're a good enough group that everybody can probably get what they need to get out of me or this page, like in probably 1 month. So I'm hoping that the subscription is worth it. If you can get it by enough of my senior moments, and if you could live with all of that, but um, so let's, yeah, it's good. It is good. It is good. The divine don't have podcasts telling you how great they are. Good things are happening. Um, there's a magnet at the bottom of each outside tube. Yes. North side up. Yes. Yep. So the north side is up specifically because it's not that this stuff isn't going to get talked about or kicked around inside of Facebook, but the more of it that it is digitally, the more recognizable those conversations are going to start being, right? And there's a rake, basically, is the way I see it, right? There's a rake that goes over the internet. Look for, trigger words. You say Israel, bam. You say CIA, bam. DOD, bam, right? They just said enough to have this video freeze up. I've literally had that happen before. Bringing up the DOD, bringing up Adam Schiff, the guy from California, the congressman. Um, I've had some shit happen on my Facebooks, man. That's not saying I'm important. It's not saying I'm important. It's saying that I've seen it. Here comes that thing again, man. Every time I'm doing a live video. Didn't have that all day today. Magnet at the top, and yeah, north side up on the bottoms. They're north side up. On the top, they're north side down. Yep. And you're generating the flow, but there's an equilibrium between the two. You've got 6 magnets on the outside. It's that flow, that reciprocity is what I'm going to do I know I did that one video. Do you remember that one video I did, Derek? I explained like how that V shape, that energy is drawn down from above and all that stuff. So I've got the values correct in the size of the thing that we have here. So using a paint can, there's a specific range, there's a distance that the magnets should be apart. So it's basically the bottom of the can and the top of the can almost. So it works. It works. I had a blue sky when I got home today, man. I had such a blue sky. And I couldn't believe it because we were usually when it's that bad, when they're sprayed up all over the place around me, it's raining now, but it's very, very light. Typically you greatly diminish the rainfall. Any unnatural rainfall is greatly diminished. The storms, all the charge of the storms is pretty much killed before it gets to you. There is no doubt about it. They're still working, whether you think they are or not. And you'll be able to recognize it if you start watching a radar, screen of whatever type, go on to the one app that I use on here. It's not my radar. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it right now, but on that app, you can watch how all of the storms roll up to my doorstep, and they're just all the color goes right out of them. As soon as they hit me or the whole valley I have covered with these things, so, it's just, I have a little more freedom with it with, the amount of money I got paid and stuff today, and magnets are on the bottom of the ground. Yeah, that doesn't matter if they're on the ground. You want them to be repelling the south pole of the ground. So, made it to the live, Courtney. Mr. Sunshine, I'm called by Cloud McNeely. Hey, Cloud. So, yeah, it is really, really, it's, and I don't know if that guy is saying I think I'm awesome. What does that mean? I don't think I'm awesome at all, man. I am so far removed from my ego and all of this stuff. It's just it's such a cool thing. When you're talking about being busy and all this stuff. There's the amount of, that might be the same guy from Facebook. One guy asked me the other day, he's like, how come you're so difficult to deal with? And I'm like, holy fuck, man. I'm answering 50 people in a few hours each day, what do you want? I've got to work. I have 2 hands that I need to do things, man. I don't want to be holding my goddamn phone all day, but it's busy, it's a busy thing. And I'm trying to stay tuned in and tapped in, for everybody. So for all of us, I hope that you guys yourselves will start talking about this stuff and writing books and getting active. And I I hope everybody starts doing this way, like, hey, this is the reality. This is the real reality of all of this stuff, you know? Windy weather app. Maintenance be done to the paint can. Maintenance done to the paint can. It depends on how much rain you get in there. I mean, some people last year were asking, it's getting rusty. And I'm like, hey, well, you want the rust. You want it. So it's going to degrade and it's going to break down after a certain amount of time, no matter what, because it's tin. But at the same time, it absorbs heat a lot better. It's definitely the heat. Like I'm thinking about this all day today. Like, I'm trying to think because I don't wanna run into the winter. We got pounded last year with almost 2 feet of snow at one point there. My buddy ended up having 3 up in, New Hampshire. Matt Desert is I think it's in New Hampshire, and, he's like a union welder, pipe fitter welder, stainless steel he does all the time. So welders are very smart guys, man, as far as electricity and understanding a lot of this stuff. There's another guy, his name on Facebook is Dan Baugh. He's over in Ireland, and he's been doing some really cool shit, man, like hooking up UV lights to them. Obviously, that brings a little bit of warmth. Jesus, this must be the new fucking Zika virus or whatever the hell they call it. This stupid shit. Oh, man, are we in for it, boy? We are in for it. These fuckers are just not gonna stop. They're just not gonna stop, and what do you do here? What do you do here? Um, I answered one question in the Paint Can Brigade. Now I'm getting pounded. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's good though, man. I mean, because there's a cycle in it. As soon as you engage one person, and the conversations keep on going because people still getting the notifications. I don't mind helping people, but if they, yeah, being assets, yeah, it's the same for me. I hate that. I hate that. Like people don't understand. Like when you get this isn't like bragging or nothing, right? But there's 100,000 followers on my page. There's 100,000 people. That's 100,000 people. I don't know how many of those people end up ever seeing my posts, but eh, dealing with the negative ones, right? Like there's a lot of negative ones, and those are like engineered negative ones. Like they automatically come on. Like it's immediately you must be on meth or this guy has to be a crackhead. Some guy said the other day, look who's on their week-long meth binge or something like that, and I always hit him back with like, "Yeah, your mom, in the whorehouse or wherever," right? Like, shit like that. But, I don't think they're real they're not real people like us. They're people that are paid to do this shit, obviously, and I just don't wanna deal with all that shit anymore because they strike a nerve. At the beginning last year, I'm just like, this is a fake account," You start noticing them. You start being able to pick them right out. You know? How many are real? Yeah, it gets rough though, like, when you've got that many people looking at your page all the time, like, I could fucking axe the whole Facebook thing right now. Only thing I like about it is that, I've got my kids' pictures on there from years ago, um, all their achievements and shit through wrestling and football and cheerleading and whatever, like all that stuff is on there. And it just sucks that we all fell for what they were doing, and then you still got people out there taking pictures of their kids and putting it all over Facebook. It's like, God damn, do you know what they're doing with all of that fucking data? Like, and it's kind of too late at one point or another. Like everybody is identified for sure. And it's crazy that they got away with doing all this shit to us the way that they did in these public-private partnerships, again, it's a big thing. Getting so many friend requests lately, very little interaction. Yeah, so that's another part of it, like, so what I know a lot of people were sending me messages last year. They were like, "Do you know this guy? It's our only mutual friend." Um, and, like, so there's seeders out there, right? Like, there's people that wanna get close to other people, like me, what the hell is the guy's name now? Eric Moutos or Mutos or whatever, the guy that he's got like 500,000 followers. I had a couple of conversations with him. He's a cool guy. Uh, but you get up to that, like where you're actually influencing a lot of people, the way that a lot of people think or see things, I think he's given such a long leash because he's still somewhat embedded into politics. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. He has some great he has great content. He's very on point, but, in the he's still in the real world thing with the news kinda matters, and here's I can't do that shit, like, looking at other people's videos and saying, "This is the" look at what they're saying," like, it's just all hearsay, right? I can tell you where the thing I try to do is make sure that everybody goes and looks for themselves on all of these topics, Don't take my word for anything, don't take anybody's word for anything anymore, They'll have you injected with some shit eventually. So, I mean, I just removing yourself from all of it, it's real hard. It's real hard to finally get to a point where your brain is free and none of that shit matters to you anymore. I mean, it eats me alive when I try to like I'll see all these algorithms pop up for like I'm a softie for Michael Jordan. I love watching the old Jordan clips. Like he was just it was awesome watching him play basketball back in the day. Boxing, I've fought for a while in my life, so I love the sport. Some of the MMA stuff, uh, but these are the things that are they're there to throw my antennas up. Like, oh look, this is awesome. And I was even getting like a porn thing started popping in there every once in a while, like some pretty graphic shit. And I'm like, how the hell are they skipping that stuff through? Like, where is it coming from? Like I'm not a porn addict. I mean, I don't mind porn, but it's like I know, low energy, da 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 da, whatever. I know all about it, but um, it's just like the shit that they get you to look at to keep you there is just like how are they doing all this, man? It's just fucked up. I'm watching the world right now. It's so fucked up. Regarding kids, what do you mean? I don't know what you said there. I'm trying to find it and it won't open. Getting so many friend requests. Oh, the school picture thing. Kinda makes the Facebook thing irrelevant. Yeah, I know that they were keeping logs of them. I remember them saying that they were doing that the school pictures were going off to the government. I remember that back in the day. Like, I think it was at the beginning, like, for my age, uh, maybe 4th or 5th grade, I would have been in, so that'd be, like, 80 something. I don't know, 82 or 83 maybe? So, yeah, it's wild, man. It's fucking wild. So they definitely have us all branded. We're all tagged. You got a tag in your ear, just like a piece of cattle. When you're awake, you can see all the manipulation for sure. I don't think there's anybody that can lie to me about anything these days now. It's just like I don't believe a fucking thing out of anybody these days. And you got to stay on guard because you don't know who's out there doing what. Understand where it's coming from, you know how to control it, you can learn how to navigate the matrix, yeah. And that's the whole thing about the flat earth stuff, like that's the biggest thing. People are like, flat earth is just a psyop and I was all hooked up in it and I was having a conversation with a guy the other day. But when you look at it from the perspective that I'm keep showing in our book club thing, um, it makes sense after that. And then once you get there, like you understand, like how all this other stuff evolved afterwards, Greece and all the takeovers and the deaths of the ages of men. Like once you get there and you see that this whole group has been there forever, there's no going back. You can't go back, and you definitely see it. You see it so clearly. Um, all of the Akkadian stuff, the Akkadian Empire, they're basically the sons of Japheth, uh, Japheth and Shem and Ham. In what we have, the earliest history of as far as academia is concerned, it would be them. It's the sons of Noah here in the United States. But other cultures have much older stuff, like India, for instance. I mean, for God's sake, how are we so misled for all this time? It's the control of everything that we come into contact with is just so it is what it is. But um, yeah, I guess I just wanted to do a video tonight and give my apology for not doing that other thing the other night. I was trying to input everybody's information as I get it. There is a lot of freaking paint cans to make, man. So once I have the first bulk load done here and out, um, it'll be smooth sailing. But I think that the pricing is just perfect enough that I don't have to. I don't have to kill myself, and people are being driven to going and making them themselves. That's my real target. That's my real goal. So the more people that are making them, the more can put around their own houses. Unsee it. So cool. The puzzle is totally piecing together. You can't unsee it. Yeah. But you just they're in every culture all across history. It's incredible once you finally get there, you know. And the whole thing falls apart. The whole freaking globe thing and all of it just starts falling apart. Under the can, Patty. What's that question? Do you have a donut magnet around the ground on the bottom of the cookie? No, because of the fields. The fields will interfere with each other. So the fields will interfere with each other and negate what you're trying to do with the magnets. So if I take one and it's got there's these little, right? So south to north is the way that they flow. So I tried to buy a ferro lens or a ferrocell lens is what they call it. There's like so magnetic paper. If you see what like that's a magnet on the other side there. It's not doing what it was designed to do, which is show you the direction of the fields coming out of the magnet. You could actually count each individual one. And I can't find the place to buy them. I can't find there's a lens, an actual lens, and you can put a magnet up and it looks like a spider. There's little glowing orange things coming out of it, but you can count how many different fields there are inside of one magnet. And there's a loop. So as the electricity travels through a magnet, right, it's always south to north. Electrical potential always travels south to north. So if I put this magnet here and the range of interference coming from the other one, right, like so they'll stick together like that, right? But they won't stick together right here, right? Like why would they stick sideways? So they're caught in the current. There's actually literally a magnetic current. You don't want to interfere with those. But as you create one magnetic field, those eddies that come off, right? They're kind of like a catalyst, like they grab onto electrons and throw them. Or electrons are what we're looking at as ions, right? We want the negative ions to be around everywhere. That's why I'm trying to make that big thing with the freaking car batteries. That's going to be so awesome. But those eddies, anyway, right? Those you want those being just out of range of the other magnet and the range of that, the current of that other magnet. If you put them too close or too far, you end up with a big problem. So they're helping to keep that spiral jet flow of pure energy moving. And it's not bullshit talk when you start getting into that stuff. So like world class physicists, I think, work on all of this stuff. I mean, I understand it from the simpler versions of it, but it's a complicated thing because you can't see what you're working with. I mean, you can feel it, you can understand it. That's how I kind of get through it. Is like I understand the concepts behind it, but as far as throwing the ions around, there's a specific range. So if you put that big giant ring magnet on the bottom, yeah, it'll draw a lot of static potential down. But are you also grabbing onto the negative ions of the crystals that are right above that? So um, I had one on there, and it wasn't working that well. And then I took it off, and the whole sky cleared right up. And I put that on the bottom. I wasn't paying attention to the currents and all that stuff at the time either, though. So I mean, it was too much. It's too much sometimes. 6 individual magnets under each outside pipe. In the box, you have the 4 magnets on the top of the paint can. 4 in line because there's a draw. You're stretching the current into the next magnet. You're creating like a funnel, a vortex, right? It's trying to draw more and more down. When you stretch the magnets apart, there's more of a tension draw for electrical tension. Trial and error. Um, we had the bear. What the hell? We had the bear the top of the ground, and we are struggling with getting things to go. That's why I said just put the whole thing together without the magnets first. Do the one without the magnets first. You'll see they still work. They're just not as powerful. Once you put the magnets on there and you have the place like underneath each pipe, you'll see like the whole freaking sky just stays open all day. It's not always, right? Because they just zapped us before. It was up to 60 degrees. I noticed. So I'm watching everything everywhere I go as I'm doing this stuff, right? And my son was with me. We went drove around a little bit today, took care of some stuff we had to get taken care of, and everywhere we were at, the clouds were out, right? But you could see the blue spots, the blue holes in the sky. Everywhere there's a paint can, like, I would point them out, like, I have a mental image of there's one in that town, there's one in that town, like, there's 3 over there. So, I always look at that every time I'm driving anywhere, like a general, like, "Alright, so, like, where do we have to put the next few around here?" You know? Like, I would give one away free to somebody to help keep this, blue canopy, right? And, why was I saying that? I had a reason for saying that, and I don't know what it was now. Near the top of the ground. Once you figure out there are magnetic waves all around us, you might start to understand anti-gravity. I kinda do understand anti-gravity. It's just it's centrifugal force, and it's Victor Schauberger was the shit, man, you know? Like, so, my big thing when I read people's books, I used to say this on Facebook, I'm trying to learn the man. I'm not trying to learn what he says in the book. I'm trying to learn, like, what was his reasons for doing the things that he was doing, and, I mean, I kinda understand the man now at this point. He's my favorite author in anything, and he's my favorite scientist in anything. He got a raw deal, the way he was used, like probably all of them are. But, anti-gravity is another that's we were there, I don't know what see? Seeing your moment again, here we go. Had them near the top of the ground. I don't marks on copper pipes to show placement of magnets. Maybe make marks on copper pipes to show placement of magnets. Uh, no, you don't have to. It's just about a quarter of an inch. I'm stretching the fields. I'm stretching the magnetic fields. That's why they're spaced apart with those spacers. The way that I do it. Do scientific experiments all day and get paid. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. It would be awesome, man. Well, that didn't work. Sorry, guys. You all wasted your money. But when something fucking big comes out, like that's, I mean, what better way to spend your money than, like you could go and give your money to Amazon or Facebook and Bill Gates on an Xbox or something like that, or you just give it to me because I'm fucking awesome. I'm like, I'm only kidding, man. Oh man, the lady I do kitchens for. I always say I'm Batman Jesus. She's calling me Batman. Like always like diving in and out of shit and fixing stuff and whatnot. She's like fucking Batman. And I'm like Batman Jesus. I'm spiritual too. Like I'm on the path. It's Batman Jesus. Uh, it would be so great, man. It would be so great. Proper, yeah. So I guess that was all I wanted to do with this video tonight was show the process. The boxes are all coming. I mean, it's a full onslaught of stuff right now. There is a lot of shit that I'm gonna get hit with here real shortly. So that shit crazy is right. Yeah. It's true. It's true. I mean, you are crazy, right? You're crazy as fuck. Like we are so far out there to average people. Like all of us, we're all in the same boat. But there's every day there's more crazy people. You don't see everybody getting more sane. Like, what do you gotta inject myself 417,000 fucking times with that shit? What are you talking about? Like that's the real fucking crazy. Like how many times did it help you so far? What did you get out of it so far? Well, I got a fucking tumor on my neck, like like and I feel terrible. I feel terrible. Like I'm not making jokes about it. These poor fucks actually keep on falling for all this stuff. Yeah, hundreds monkey. Yeah, shipping via USPS that we can determine shipping. How am I shipping them? The postal service. I'm hoping that so many people order paint cans from me, I can keep the United States Postal Service in business because fuck FedEx with their carbon capture program. FedEx is in on it. UPS is in on it. no priority unless people ask or, like, there's a whole like, a real big push on them because there's a really big difference in the shipping cost. It's $25 or $125 for so but they typically last year, they were getting there within 3 to 5 days, so that's fair. Ground, yeah. Yep. So I'm hoping that I get a bunch of them out tomorrow. I got a labeler today. That's a big pain in the ass. The amount of stuff that people don't give you, they don't give you the information like, "I want this," or "I want that." They'll just put a check in there with the amount of money on it, and, like, it's real nice to, "Yeah, I want this," or "I want that, and this is my address," so I could take that piece of paper, put it into a stack of papers that have addresses and names, all of that in one place. Now you're, like, digging through the goddamn envelopes going like, "Holy shit," like, "Oh, there's the address," But you're hunting and digging for all this stuff. It's like, just make it a little easier on me, man, would you? So I don't have like a point of sale system or something where I could just type all your shit in. I wish postal workers at your office are gonna just love you. Oh, you gotta see the lady every time I go in there. She's like, "Oh, hi, how are you today?" And I'm like, "Sorry." I'm sorry. Use pirate ship. I heard somebody kept telling me that was a lot better. It was a lot cheaper. But the expense, I'll tell you what, one time last year, I think I did 3 big orders last year, maybe 4, I don't remember, and then a bunch of, like, little random ones. It starts eating you alive, man. You're like, "Oh, I gotta go to the post office," and then, like, "Oh, the people whose house I'm supposed to be working at today are fucking pissed, like, 'Why are you so late?' Post office doesn't open till 9 o'clock, man," like, um, but, in all of those bulk orders I was doing, why did I bring that up, man? See, I did it again. Postal workers are just gonna love you. Oh, it was like $750. It was like 750 or 800. It was 8 no, it was $750 on one receipt. She ran out of receipt paper while she was punching the boxes out. She ran out of receipt paper. So it was $850. No, it was $750. Oh, the other one was another that was like 300 something, 320 or 50, I don't know, 300, but it was like $1,000 in shipping costs, like bam, right out of the gate, like there goes $1,000, and I wish that I was using that pirate ship thing or whatever at the time because I'm like, holy shit, that's like, because I was literally only making like $20 a paint can, and, I was taking all that money and going and buying more copper with it. Like, every time I got money from doing that, I put it right back into it to make more, and it was stupid the way that I did it because all of the orders just stopped out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Shit." The one lady asked me, "I want my money back because it took too fucking long," and, rightfully so, I get it. But, so she was a pain in the ass, actually, but, um again, she didn't get what she ordered, so I don't blame her, I don't blame her at the time. So that's one of them I still have to send out. It's tough, man, it's tough. Like, you think about shipping all this stuff out and going through all this stuff. I had to get the label maker. I can't handwrite all those things. I was calling my son Johnny. I'm like, "Buddy, you gotta help me with these fucking labels, man." I could build the cans all day long. Like, I could build 5 cans in the time it would take me to write out the labels. The label part is the shittiest part of it, you know? Don't run, lock the door, and flip the sign to closed. Yeah. They really are like that. Like, I could see it. I could see it on her face. It took 2 of those, they have those big push bins that you put, like, old towels in at the hotel. Those things I filled 2 of those up and a flat cart and a flat cart. So 2 of those big, like, mail bin things and a flat cart with, like, 4 high. There was just so many of them. We were just doing the kits. And, that was eating me alive because everybody was ordering all these, like, individual parts, like, "I want the cookies, and I only want the crystals, and I only want this part or that part," and I'm just like, that's why I said this year, it's all or nothing. You want the whole full can or go fucking learn how to make them somewhere, like, and I'm not being rude, it's just there's no way I can go through all that shit again. Not this year, no way. Um, we got a cool enough group of people that we can everybody's taking care of each other, which is the best part of it. So, sent you something on my phone from Marketplace. Somebody was selling 15 10-foot, 3/4 inch copper pipes for 450. I don't want the 3/4 anymore either. So the weight isn't so I'm trying what the whole initial thing was trying to get the least expensive kit together, like the design, making them, uh, the amount of copper necessary, the least expensive crystals that you could buy, because like you would go to some crystal shops and they're like, oh, we want $15 for that. Like, for that one fucking crystal, like, holy shit, man. And then this guy up here, he started hooking me up, man. That guy he's a great, great dude, Steve, like his name is. But I've been into his shop so many times. If you guys need to order them online, just go look him up. Like, here's his phone number. You can look him up. This was Back Mountain Jewelry and Rock Shop. They do a whole bunch of these like energy Reiki type things. Take a screenshot and I'll hold it up for you for a minute or so. That's his phone number. But he literally started shipping out orders of crystal for me now to people. He separates them into groups of 6, and the quality is like they're so clear. He polishes them, buffs them all for them for everybody. You know, here, hold on. It's like this goddamn camera. Look at how clean those are. There's just there, and he gave me a whole bag of them while I was there. They're not cheap. They're not cheap, especially when you go through all that. You're cleaning them up and buffing them and polishing them and everything. And so if you need the quartz crystals, guys, anybody that is, if you're doing them in bulk or whatever, I have a whole bag right there. But they still cost you money. They're still like and that's the uncertain part of it. Like, everybody's like, how much? Like, what do you mean? It's a paint can. It costs $8. So I'm like, yeah, well, go and buy yourself a fucking 10 foot of copper pipe. They're 60 some dollars for a 3/4 pipe now. $60 a piece for a 10-foot pipe. That does one can, right? So last year I think I was selling for $100. It was $55 at the time is what the 3/4 inch pipe was. So it was $55 for the copper. The quartz ranged, right? I didn't have anything set up like this. Like, I have a good deal going with this guy now. But so the quartz ranged. I mean, whatever. Let's just say $10 for all the quartz for just one can, roughly. So there's $65. Now I have the shipping fee on top of it. That was usually $10 to $15 somewhere, depending on wherever it was going, right? So there's like, what is that? 65 and 15, and you got $80 there, right? So that was literally like, depending on where they were going. If they're going to California, forget it. I made $5 on it. Like, I was just saying, $100 for a can, and that was it. I didn't care about all the differences and fine tuning everything on extracting as much money out of it as I could. I was getting the damn things to as many people as I could so that they could start putting them together themselves and learn. Like, oh my God, there's nothing that big and difficult about it. But that's why I shift everybody off over to the paint can brigade to put them together themselves. Is specifically because I would rather see people being able to make them themselves and understand the science behind it and why this or that happens or how the clouds react and all that stuff. That fucking group is awesome, man. Those people in there are awesome, you know? Demo business and work, $4 to $5 each. Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, it's freaking crazy. So, yeah, like, legitimately, I wasn't making any money on them last year at all. Like, I know that I lost $1,500 putting it into all of that last year, and it wasn't about making money. Like, it literally, and it's still not about making money. It's about recovering and being able to still pay my shit, Like, that's the only reason that I'm doing it, is I just wanna be able to pay for my stuff, uh, like, as life goes, with decent food, you know? So, it's tough keeping up with all of it, and I don't like, I'm not into the victimhood thing at all. Like, but it is tough. It's a tough thing to keep up with all of this shit and do a regular job, you know? So, again, bless you guys that paid for the subscription. It's not as much money as you think. It's awesome. Like, it's awesome when it's like, wow, I got a fucking check for what I would have done for free on Facebook, to help people get what's going on in the world, like, but who's the first fucking guy we kill, Mr. Zuckerberg? That fucking loudmouth from Pennsylvania. That's the guy, like, That's I don't like Facebook because of that shit, man. I really don't like that. I mean, I don't like this even, but, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think everybody needs to know now, just everybody needs to know, like, where it is, how it is, what to do, how to stop it. But the graphing is that's the linchpin in AI learning everything, man. Everywhere I go, I went to a hardware store today. I told the guy behind the counter, I'm like, "Bro, you know what graphene is?" Because he started asking me about what the fuck is with the paint cans. He's like, "Oh, I saw that video." I said, "Yeah, that's fucking wild stuff, man." I said, "It's real." He's like, "Well, why don't you want the clouds?" And I'm like, "You know what graphene is?" And right there, bam, you've got local people understanding, because it's hard to sell it to people. It's hard to tell people like this is what's really happening right now. Locally, I went and sat down. I don't know if you guys I said this on this live the other day or not, but sat down like my neighbor was sitting down on his porch. My power went out. He's like, his wife's like, "You're fucking out there, dude." And we were laughing because we're neighbors a long time, but they're just pure news heads, man. If it's not on Fox, they're not listening to shit. The weather is blah blah blah. I'm like, they said, "You didn't see anything about the storms last year?" Like all of our weather stations, every one of them kept saying, "I don't know what keeps happening with these stalled thunderstorms." And I'm like, "I know what happened, motherfuckers." It's just, it's so good. It's so good when you see it happening that way. But so yeah, it's hard to sell that to people. It's hard to tell people like, "Hey, your reality is a bunch of fucking horseshit, man." Like it's horseshit. I was right there with you. I was brainwashed to fuck watching the news every single day. I can't do it no more. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. And when they give you that fluoride stare, man, I'm telling you, it hits you right there. Like these poor bastards, they have no idea. They have no idea, and they don't care to have any idea. And that's where our country's in deep shit because it's 70% of our population at this point is like that. I would say at least 70%. Hopefully not that much, but I don't know. I guess I'm done for the day. I'm not seeing very many more comments here, but so that was the only reason I did this video is to show everybody what those things are, what they're going to look like by the time they get to you. And I'm kind of proud that I came up with a system this way. It's very organized. Um, these things are going to be going out like hotcakes. There's so many people trying to order them. Every time I open Facebook, there's like 5 new messages. How do I get them? How do I learn what? Just go to the Paint Can Brigade. Here's the price. Here's go. The big one I'm trying to push is this. I want to get everybody here that I can. This is better. It's more direct. They come to you, hopefully. I wish I had a little bit of crack to give them or something like really, really addictive. That way they would keep coming back. But and bringing other people to learn, like it's more about learning. But I don't know. That's the only thing I really give a shit about. What is your recommendation for how the best recharges a crystal is when you get them? Put them in the sun. Put them in the sun. That's it, Stace. Yep. Takes a minute. Takes me a minute, but I'm figuring out my system. Kristen, what's up, Kristen? Kristen is also an admin of the Paint Can Brigade, guys. Um, Yeah, once you get the system going. So if you guys are like, if everybody's worried about the prices and stuff, if it's the shipping shit is on your nerves or it's too much money for this or that or whatever. So like West Coast stuff, I would say Kristen would be the best person. Like if you want to go with not to say she's like the economy mode, Kristen, but she's putting together like the simple paint cans. And, I can't do it, I can't do it. That's with this other stuff, the different because I have a process in all of it, and once I break outside of that, then I start going into ADHD mode, and I'm not a very productive worker when that happens. So, I'll stand there and look at something, "What was I doing?" You know? So, I have to stay in my processes, and I'm just sticking with the big ones, and, anyway, West Coast, if you're on the West Coast, it'd be less expensive for her to ship to you. Again, try to use the United States Postal Service as much as you can because UPS and FedEx are in on the whole Green New Deal, New World Order shit, right? Um, the and then if you want anything on the East Coast, like there's a couple people over here. There's me, Matt Dessert is making a lot of them. I don't think he's making them for sale like this though. But there's a lot of people that are starting to get into making them, and I'm hoping that they all keep them local, because the more internet fluff there is about this, the less effective it's going to be. They're going to do a workaround on it, and that's the important part for people to get here. It's why I wanted to bring everybody here, because there's just too much people. There's too many people looking at the the things actually working. And when you got the bots coming from Israel and Britain and wherever else, right directly to your page, that call you a fucking jerk off and you must all be retarded. And, how many, is all of the United States on crack? Like the shit that they say, but, they know what you're about. Like they know this is no joke. This stuff, this is no, like, we're literally the military for the people as far as the air is concerned. Um, so, I mean, in the world of AI, what we're doing is it's a huge thing. It's a really, really big thing here. So, it's not about the money or any of that stuff. It's strictly about, like, you want to protect your home. You want to stay out of digital slavery. You like, look at where we're at, man. I mean, just look at where we're at. Like, holy shit, now, like, holy shit. So, it's the only thing I can say about it. Everything to assemble, but if the magnets were they in assembly. I think I think I have everything to assemble, but if using the magnets, where are they in the assembly? Sorry if I missed that. Don't worry about the magnets. Just put the whole thing together. Put the whole thing together without the magnets first. Watch how it works. Put the whole thing together first, and don't because you'll negate what you have. They'll work absolutely without the magnets. They absolutely work. Don't use the magnets first. Start figuring out how that whole thing is supposed to go. Like, I could tell everybody it's got to be here and there, and, like, this is the numbers and the measurements and all that stuff. And then 1,000 calls, like, it's not working, or no, something's not right, or what. I don't want to deal with all that stuff personally, so I don't even like people asking me it. If you watch the video and you don't get it the first time, say, "Hey, I watched your video. Can you tell me how blah blah blah?" I'm not being rude to you. I'm just saying you'll fuck up what you're doing if you don't have them all sitting the right way. So I wouldn't even worry about the magnets right now. And if you want to try the magnets, I mean, I don't care. Go ahead, but you want uh you want the south side up on the center, and you want the north side up on the bottoms under each pipe. Okay. And that's in here. I mean, that's not a big deal. But I'm telling you, like, do the regular paint can first, then make another one. But this way you'll have it done. You'll see, like, oh, it does work. Like, this is awesome. You'll start figuring out, like, oh, like, I can't just put it in the yard and point it at the same place all the time. You have to point it at oncoming clouds. Watch the weather. Watch where the clouds are moving and how they're moving. Because every time they've gotten it to rain on me, the clouds came from the opposite direction they normally ever do. And by the time, the rain is getting past me. So monthly mutual aid groups are a great place to bring up. Also, farmers markets might get an information booth for this year. Yeah, man, that's awesome idea. Quarter-inch part on 4 on top, 4 on bottom. No, 4 on top, 2 inside, or more. This is pure magnets all the way through. So there's 4 here, and there's 6 around the outside, and then there's 4 at the top for this one. Right, but this one's 3/4 inch. So there's 4 magnets here, 4 on the top. That eddy is created in the central tube, and then the lower 6 are all in the opposite direction. But if I were able to see this with that ferrocell that I'm talking about, I would be able to see, because I have to take the magnet meter thing that I have, right? And I have to measure. Like, I'll say my finger is the end of it, right? And I'll have to move it away and stay steady and see where the values are at, right? Where is south? Where is north? And that's what I'm measuring with that tool, right? It's not the actual magnet. I could put the thing on the magnet and measure the power of the magnet and all that stuff, but I'm measuring the track between one magnet and the next part of the field. So in that donut, it works out. It works out like almost perfectly. So there's still energy in there, there's still energy, but there's only these 6 on the bottom. So those are repulsory. from the earth up. Basic one together first because I'm having trouble sourcing magnets and crystals. The magnets are on Amazon, guys. I don't know if I have the box, but they're 5/8 holes on the inside. They're a little bit bigger than 5/8 because they send them in millimeters, and then the outside is like an inch and a quarter or so. So, but that is fucking crazy. Look at this. Watch. This is how much magnetic shit I got in my garage. Watch this. It won't stay still. Oh boy. Watch. Look at Oh, that's what it was drawing towards it. But they're like, look at the magnets here, man. Those things are freaking gigantic. Those are all neodymiums. All these are magnets over here. Those boxes are prisms. But I've got so much stuff that's magnetic in here. It's stupid. I started making all these different things to see if I could spin these and create some kind of like natural power thing. I've been playing with them a lot, man. I love magnets. I always did since I was a little kid. I was so fascinated by them and like doing all this stuff. I'm like, magnets would be perfect for this, and they've been. It's just I couldn't believe the first time I put them in there, and I had like that I actually saw them work because I kept putting them in there and like nothing was happening. I would take them away, and the paint can would work. And then I probably tried 4 or 5 different times, different ways, taking paint cans out of my yard. And when I finally saw it work, I was like, wow, man, that sky is super blue and everything else is like flooded with clouds. And, all right, well, pretty soon it's going to hit. Pretty soon it's going to hit. And it's just one big blue umbrella over me the whole day, and I'm like, that works. So I started looking into the whole magnet thing like crazy. Like I've been into a whole ton of, YouTube videos and like the homemade scientists and stuff. Yeah. So you don't want to play around with the magnetic one because I think I mean, you just try it. Try it. Start playing with them, man. But I would say get a magnet meter, um, and putz around with it yourself until you can figure out if you want to go and read about the way that magnets work and the electrical potential and all the shit, the way that it all goes together. Go ahead, man. Figure it out. Add on to whatever I have to say. I mean, again, like I'm not God. I shouldn't be telling you how to do any of that stuff yourself. But um, I think the biggest thing that everybody should do is just get the regular paint can built first, um, and then start working on this other stuff. But if you make a hobby out of it, I'm telling you, like I can't do any. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, there's nothing around me I care about more than looking out the window. It's every morning. Every morning, I wonder what they did today. Because they always come at nighttime. Every morning, I can hear them. Right. I never heard jets before they started doing this shit. I walk out in the yard and I start moving the cans around and I start trying to grab a new connection to the earth, like with the pipe that actually is the connection will die, like something about the soil and the electrolytes keeps the whole thing moving right, so it's like need a world map so I can push pin wherever your Repasky can is. Indiana here. Look at I just never got around with it. And we have a girl, Jennifer White is also another admin in the paint can group, and she was doing this on Google Earth. But there's the pins. This is what I was going to do, and I get in here and I'm like, I put the map in here, and I open up Facebook. It's like, guys, look what I did. It's like fucking Google Maps. There's like 50 of these things. They're in like Ireland, they're in Canada, and she has them all tagged out, islands and shit. I'm like, wow, that is awesome. And people were sending in their locations on where they all were. But you got to think again, and we all immediately recognized the potential problem with that. Who gets that map? Who gets to look at that map? Right. So we all got scared. So we kind of nixed the whole idea of it. Where are they and all that stuff? I mean, it's listen to me, man. It isn't a fucking joke. When I say don't go and advertise the hell out of this and, hey, I want to be, Mr. Cloudbuster and all that stuff. And you want to go on the internet, go ahead if you want to. But I'm telling you, like, this whole black helicopter shit is not a fucking joke. It is not a game. I'm telling you, they're here all the time. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody or any of that stuff, but once they are here all the time, this is no joke. Like, it is no joke what we're doing, right? So that's another part of, like, why do I want to keep it in a paid group? Because I don't want, like, some dipshit kid coming on and like, Dad, this guy fucking thinks and his dad ends up being like an Air Force major. Like, hey, look at what we got here. Da, 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 da. Like, I have literal, like, whatever they're called, Airbus or something. AI will recognize it. We are already on the radar for sure. Yeah, I mean, AI like already picks these videos apart and captions them and everything. There's another platform called Ghost. I was thinking about going to that one, but then now everybody already has their subscriptions here, and this is still better than Facebook. There's no doubt about it. It's still better. Messing with the shekels, yeah, they don't fuck around there. But it's not a joke. Like you guys, so look up the town of Shickshinny. It's Shickshinny, right? Shickshinny, Pennsylvania. I live right across the river from there. And go to the Flight Radar 24 app. Play a 24-hour stream. Like, so you can go in there, you can hit play, you can watch all the air traffic over the course of the day. The helicopters that come toward my house, they blink out off of the radar. They're always private owners, or there's nothing on it, just like little dash marks. Doesn't say anything about it. Won't say its elevation. The other day, I have a video I could post on here right now of the Navy was out over my house the day before yesterday. One of those big giant, like on GTA, the video game, they used to call them like a cargo bob or something. This big fucking Navy thing right over my house. Extremely slow. It was in my view for at least 10 minutes, right from both sides of my house, right on the top of the mountain that's behind my house. It's not a game. Like, they're literally all in on it. And, the military doesn't even understand what they're doing or why they're doing it. They're following orders and that's it, but it's like always, it's always been the corporate, the corporate powers are what determines what the military is going to end up doing, so but it's not a joke. Like, once you start putting it on Facebook, I'll bet you if I get off of here, can anybody leave here and go to my Facebook and see if those videos posted yet? It was just me showing that box of the paint can. But my Facebook died the last like 2-3 days. I think I got about 8 or 10 different notifications. I've had this happen before too. For anybody that never heard me say it before, they took over my computer in live time on Facebook with me trying to address the whole true story behind the Bolshevik revolution, like what that leads into with all the Zionism and all that shit for the Khazarians and whatnot. That was 3 or 4 years ago. I was trying to get that on the internet for days or weeks. I think even a year finally took me till I actually got like freedom to converse about it on the internet. So, like, this stuff is no joke. What they're capable of digitally will fuck your life right up. So it's not just, you're welcome to do whatever you want. If you're a full grown man, full grown woman, whatever, go do what you want. But once you start putting these things on the internet, I don't know what the repercussions are for me. I have no idea what my repercussions are. Like, hey, this guy's like a domestic terrorist. He's fucking trying to get climate change to kill us all. Like, that's the angle they could take. And people are asking me, like, why didn't you ship them across borders or anything? Like, Australia, like, you guys are 100%. They're arresting people for fucking making Facebook posts in Australia and in Canada. You think I want to go, right? Like, I don't know. Does that make you an international criminal against climate change? So it's not a joke. It's not a joke to do all that stuff, so try and get everything local to you and, like it would be a drug deal or something. That's what they did to Wilhelm. Yeah, I know. I was up at his museum. I have a video last summer going up to that museum. Last one on my Facebook is from 6 days ago. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what the fuckers do. That's been uploading for over a half an hour before I started to do this video here. So, and that was just a picture of the paint can. So, trust me when I tell you, it's like I'm not putting any internet fluff on it. I want more people viewing me or any of that stuff. This is a real fucking serious thing. The whole graphene thing, 100%. I am absolutely right about that topic. You don't have to believe me about anything else, but that one, that is where I will tell you absolutely 100%. This is what they are using graphene for. That is how they're giving it to us. This is how you stop it. I'm telling you, this is a major, major thing. All of this here. So, did you try to upload in the paint can group in there too? Yeah. I don't know if that one went in though. I was basically saying, hey, if you want to buy them, I have these ones, and that was it. Yeah. Build a star fort. I agree. Oh man. All right. So I'm done. I didn't eat yet today, and I've been out here trying to fuck around with these things all day today. And I was just stoked. I had some freedom to run around and grab some of this shit today that I really needed to get done. And I just didn't have the time to do it. And when I saw that 7 paint can order, I'm like, boom, nice. And I got some freedom there, you know. So I'm taking a month off of work is what I asked for. I don't want to go back for like a month. And as a subcontractor, which is why I stay happy there as a subcontractor. Um, there's not a lot on you except for dealing with fucking shitty customers every once in a while. Um, so I'm getting a break from that, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to have a nice month off. I'm taking a month off. Hopefully, I can make some money doing this stuff, keep my bills paid, and I come up with some new idea. But this magnetic field thing for repelling that shit is the next big one that I'm trying to work on. And I've been working on that for about a year and a half, I think. I understand the science behind it, and I understand a lot of the parts to it. Like, it actually takes some chemical stuff, chemical or calcium. I always want to. I think it's calcium bicarbonate is another one. Like, all these negative ions are what you need to go up into the sky. I also want to be able to do something about the cold, because when they're ionizing your area, it drops immediately. You'll notice it if you have a paint can in your yard. If the helicopter or an airplane goes over, and then suddenly, like 10 minutes later, it drops by 10 degrees, and you feel a really cold chill in the air. Like, here it was 58 degrees before. It felt like it was 48, but it was like 60. Well, it was, what did I say at the beginning of I said at the beginning of the video, it was 60 here and 52 everywhere else. So it was 8 degrees warmer because the sun was out. My sky was blue as hell. But from the time I got home, within 8 minutes, my son was cutting the grass. Within 8 minutes, I hear, and then shortly after that, that cold chill hits me, and I'm like, they just fucking spray us. And then like another 10 minutes goes by, and there was a light rain just skimmed over the top of us. We were supposed to have a thunderstorm here all day today, and we got a couple little showers. You know, I'm telling you, these things work 100%. And for the other people that are saying, "Oh, we're droughting," and da da da, don't worry about the drought, man. These things, what they do is they harmonize the atmosphere. They harmonize the atmosphere. That what they're doing is drawing away, like they're creating an an ionizing effect. This is what Wilhelm Reich got recognized for first, was helping a farmer make rain because he was in a drought situation. So like all these old banker farmer types like Percival Bush, like how did they get all this land? They went and they bought it off of farmers that got droughted off of their land. They couldn't provide the yield that they needed to pay their loans or keep whatever going. Wilhelm Reich goes and helps one of these guys, and he got on the fucking list doing it by making rain. He did it within, I think it took him 3 days. But you can look his name up on YouTube. That's like one of the surface level stories about the guy. But that's what he was mostly recognized for, was creating clouds. He dies. They burn all 6 tons of his shit. And guess what? Now the government is spraying everybody with Operation LAC, large area coverage, it was called. But all these different programs started up, and that's his technology. Same thing like the jet engine with Victor Schauberger out of the Nazis, right? Like, how do they get all this Nazi fucking stuff, Oh, America won the war. We didn't win the war. The Nazis won the war. They're fucking here. They're here, so fellow aerosol injector fighters. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going in. I'm gonna get everybody's stuff all ready to go, and I'm hungry. See you later. Oh, genius. Send me a message and tell me how to do what you said, please, if you don't mind. I don't know how to go back and check the chat log. You said that I'm able to do that. I don't know how to do that on here. I've been trying on the laptop and on my phone. I can't figure it out. That's the only thing I don't like about here. See you guys. All right, now, how do I get out of here again? Oh, yeah, I have to close the whole freaking app down. See ya. Come on, man.